Okay, so this is the Daf for May 22nd, 2025. I'm a little late in getting this out. I'm sorry. I was really tired last night. I got almost all the way through this and then I could not stay awake. Anyway, this is Daf 21 of Shevuot, and it says the Gemara offers an alternative resolution of the difficulty posed by the Baraita. If you wish to say that the assertion of the Baraita that the prohibitions against taking an oath in vain and taking a false oath are one means, just as one brings an offering for taking a false oath, so one brings an offering for taking an oath in vain. And this is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Akiva, who deems one liable to take an offering for taking an oath in vain that refers to the past, just as for taking an oath that refers to the future. The Gemara raised an objection to Rabbi Yochanan's distinction between a false oath and an oath taken in vain from a Baraita. Which oath is an oath taken in vain? It is when one takes an oath to deny that which is known to people to be true, and a false oath is when one takes an oath that contradicts the past. The Gemara answers, amend the Baraita to say that a false oath is when one takes an oath and subsequently contradicts it by acting otherwise. So when Ravin came from Eretz Israel to Babylonia, he reported that Rabbi Yirmiyah says that Rabbi Abahu says that Rabbi Yochanan says, if one takes an oath saying I ate or I did not eat, it is a false oath if it is not true. And its prohibition in the Torah is from, quote, and you shall not take an oath by my name falsely, so that you profane the name of your God, I am the Lord, Leviticus 19:12. If one takes an oath saying, I will eat or I will not eat, and breaks his oath, he violates prohibition. When a man vows to vow to the Lord or takes an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he should not break his word. Numbers 30, verse 3. In which oath is an oath taken in vain? It is when one takes an oath to deny that which is known to people to be true. Rav Papa said the statement of Rabbi Abahu, conveying the opinion of Rabbi Yochanan, was not stated explicitly by Rabbi Abahu, rather it was stated by inference. It was inferred by that which Rav Idi bar Avin says, that Rav Amram says, that Rav Yitzchak says, that Rabbi Yochanan says, that Rabbi Yehuda says the name of Rabbi Yoshi Haglili. Notice that it was Rav, and then Rabbi. So I kind of pointed this out in a different video where the name Rabbi comes in history. But anyway, with regard to any prohibition in the Torah, it is a prohibition that involves an action. One is flogged for violating it. And with regard to the prohibition that does not involve an action, one is not flogged for violating it, except in the cases of one who takes an oath and one who substitutes a different animal for one that is consecrated to be sacrificed. See Leviticus 27:10. And one who curses another using the divine name. So see Leviticus 19:14. The Gemara asks, from where do we derive that one who takes an oath that is not true is flogged? Rabbi Yochanan says in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, the verse states, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not absolve of guilt he that takes his name in vain. Exodus 20, verse 7. It is the heavenly court that does not absolve him, but the earthly court flogs him, and in doing so absolves him of guilt. So Rav Papa said to Abaye, perhaps this is what the merciful one is saying, he will not be absolved of guilt at all. Abaye answered, if it were written, for he will not be absolved of guilt, it would be as you say. Now that it is written, for the Lord will not absolve of guilt, the verse teaches that it is the Lord who will not absolve one who takes his name in vain, but the earthly court flogs him, and in doing so absolves him of guilt. The Gemara asks, we found a source for receiving lashes for an oath taken in vain, despite the fact that no physical action was performed. From where do we derive that this is also the halacha with regard to a false oath? Rabbi Yochanan himself said, the verse states in vain, twice. If the second mention is not necessary for the matter of an oath taken in vain, since it was already stated, apply it to the matter of a false oath. So, in Rabbi Abahu discusses this with regard to this false oath referred to by Rabbi Yochanan. What are the circumstances under which one who takes it is flogged? If we say it is when he says, on my oaths I will not eat, and he then ate, it is a prohibition that involves an action. And if one would rather say that he says, on my oath I will eat, and he does not eat, is one who breaks his oath like that flogged? But wasn't it stated that with regard to one who says, on my oath I will eat this loaf today, and the day passed and he did not eat it, Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish Both say he is not flogged. Rabbi Yochanan says he is not flogged because it is a prohibition that does not involve an action, and concerning any prohibition that does not involve an action, one is not flogged for violating it. And Reish Lakish says he is not flogged because his violation of the prohibition necessarily involves an uncertain forewarning, and an uncertain forewarning is not considered a forewarning at all. Only if one is forewarned immediately prior to violating a prohibition does he receive lashes. Since non-fulfilling his oath is a sin of omission, whenever the forewarning is offered, it remains uncertain whether one will fulfill the oath or not. In response to his question, Rabbi Abahu says, the case where one who takes a false oath is flogged will be where he takes an oath saying, I ate or I did not eat. The Gemara asks what is different about the oaths relating to the past, for which one is liable to receive lashes even though he did not perform an action, and oaths relating to the future that one violates by omission, and for which one is therefore exempt from lashes according to Rabbi Yochanan because it is a prohibition that does not involve an action. So Rava said the Torah explicitly extended the liability to receive lashes to one who takes a false oath that is similar to an oath taken in vain. Just as an oath taken in vain refers to the past, so too one is liable for a false oath that refers to the past. This discussion of Rabbi Bahu's is the source of inference as an opinion of Rav Yochanan mentioned by Rav Papa. So Rabbi Yirmiyah raised an objection to the opinion of Rav Abahu from a Mishnah, so 27b. If one says, on my oath I will not eat this loaf, and then says, on my oath I will not eat it, and then again, on my oath I will not eat it, and he subsequently ate it, he is liable for only once. This is the oath, this is the oath on an utterance for which one who violates the prohibition intentionally is liable to receive lashes. One who violates it unwittingly is liable to bring a sliding scale offering. So Rabbi Yirmiyah asks, when the Mishnah says this is an oath on an utterance, it is to exclude what? Is it not to exclude the case of one who takes an oath relating to the past, saying, I ate or I did not eat, thereby indicating that he is not flogged? The Gemara responds, no, it serves to exclude one who takes an oath saying, I ate or I did not eat, from liability to bring an offering. The Gemara explains, this is the oath on an utterance for which one who violates it unwittingly is liable to bring a sliding scale offering. But if one takes an oath saying, I ate or I did not eat, and then no, one does not bring an offering. And this is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yishmael, who says one is liable to bring an offering only for breaking the oaths relating to the future, but one is flogged even for false oaths relating to the past. The Gemara asks, say the latter clause of the Mishnah 29a, which oath is an oath taken in vain. It is when one takes an oath to deny that which is known to people to be true, like one says with regard to a stone column that is made of gold. This is an oath taken in vain, for which one is liable to receive lashes if he takes the oath intentionally, for which he is exempt. If he takes it unwittingly, when the Mishnah says this is an oath taken in vain, it is to exclude what? What isn't that phrase added to the Mishnah to exclude one who takes an oath saying, I ate or I did not eat, teaching that he is not flogged? The Gemara responds, no, the Mishnah adds, this is an oath to teach that for violating the prohibition against taking an oath in vain, unwittingly, one is exempt from bringing an offering, but one who takes an oath saying, I ate or I did not eat, is liable to bring an offering for an unwitting violation. And this is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Akiva, who deems one liable to bring an offering for oaths referring to the past, just like one is liable for oaths referring to the future. So the Gemara asks, but didn't you say that the first clause of that Mishnah is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yishmael? How can the first clause follow Rabbi Yishmael's opinion and the latter clause follow Rabbi Akiva's conflicting opinion? The Gemara answers, the entire Mishnah is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Akiva, and the first clause does not serve to exclude one who took an oath saying, I ate or I did not eat, from the liability to bring an offering. Rather, it serves to exclude one who took an oath saying, I will eat, and who subsequently did not eat, from the liability to receive lashes, but he is still liable to bring an offering. The Gemara asks, what difference about this way of understanding the Mishnah that is to be preferred? The Gemara answers, it stands to reason that when the Mishnah is addressing an oath referring to the future, it excludes an oath referring to the future, in accordance with the reading that the entire Mishnah is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Akiva. Does it make sense that when addressing an oath referring to the future, it excludes an oath referring to the past? As the reading of the first clause is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yishmael, would have it with the opinion of Rabbi Ishmael would have it. Okay, therefore, the added sentence, this is an oath on an utterance, in the first clause serves to exclude one who took an oath saying, I will eat, and who subsequently did not eat, from the liability to receive lashes. And the whole Mishnah can be understood as being in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Kiva, that one is liable to bring an offering even for oaths relating to the past. The Mishnah teaches that if one says, on my oath, I will not eat, and he then ate any amount, even less than an olive bulk, he is liable according to Rabbi Akiva. A dilemma was raised before the sages. Does Rabbi Akiva in the entire Torah, that is in general, hold that the halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, who deems one liable for eating any amount of forbidden food? As it is taught in a Baraita, Rabbi Shimon says one who eats any amount of forbidden food is liable to receive lashes, and the sages stated the measure of an olive bulk only in the measure of determining liability to bring an offering. Okay, so, and if in fact Rabbi Akiva agrees with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, then by right, the Mishnah should have taught that Rabbi Akiva and the rabbis disagree in general. And the reason that it states only here that they disagree is to convey to you the far-reaching nature of the opinion of the rabbis. The rabbis hold that even though it is possible to say that since one who eats less than an olive bulk after taking an oath in which he specifically forbids himself by... specifically forbids himself any amount is liable who eats less than an olive bulk without so specifying. In his oath will also be liable, as that is included in his oath not to eat. The reasoning is not accepted. So the Mishnah therefore states the dispute in the context of an oath that he will not eat in order to teach us that according to the rabbis, as long as he did not specify that his oath includes any amount, he is exempt from receiving lashes. So the Gemara presents the other side of the dilemma, or perhaps in general, Rabbi Akiva holds, like the rabbis, that one must consume at least an olive bulk in order to be liable for a prohibition that involves eating. And here, with regard to an oath that one will not eat, this is the reason he disagrees. Since one who specifically forbids himself any amount is liable, then one who eats less than an olive bulk without so specifying in his oath will also be liable. Tashema, come in here. So come in here that which the rabbis said to Rabbi Akiva. Where do we find that one who eats any amount is liable, leading you to say that this person is liable? The Gemara explains, why is this relevant? If it is so that according to Rabbi Akiva, one is always liable for eating any amount, let him say to them, in the entire Torah, hold in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. The Gemara answers, the fact that Rabbi Akiva did not answer the rabbis in that way does not necessarily indicate that he does not agree with Rabbi Shimon in general. Perhaps he is speaking to the rabbis in accordance with their own statement, and this is how he would respond to their question. As far as my opinion is concerned, in the entire Torah I hold that the halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, that one is liable for all prohibitions involving eating when one eats any amount. According to you, admit to me, at least, that since one who specifically forbids himself any amount is liable, one who eats less than an olive bulk without so specifying in his oath will also be liable. And the rabbi said to him, no, we will not admit that. The Gemara presents another attempt to resolve the dilemma. Come in here in Mishnah, Nazir 34b. Rabbi Akiva says, a Nazirite who soaked his hair in wine and ate it, and the two together contain enough to combine to an olive bulk is liable, even though there is less than the minimal measure of wine. And if it should enter your mind that he holds in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon in general, then why do I need the wine and bread to combine to the measure of an olive bulk? Consumption of any amount of wine should be sufficient for him to be liable. And additionally, we learn in Mishnah 22b, if one says, on my oath I will not eat, and then ate the meat of unslaughtered carcasses or animals with a wound that will cause them to die within 12 months, or such a trephot, or repugnant creatures, or creeping animals, he is liable, and Rabbi Shimon deems him exempt. And we discussed it. Why is he liable for breaking his oath when he eats non-kosher food? He is already under oath from Mount Sinai not to eat forbidden food, and an oath cannot take effect to render a matter forbidden that is already forbidden. So Rav and Shmuel and Rabbi Yochanan both, that is, all say that this is a case where he incorporates into the oath that he will not eat, some permitted items along with the forbidden items. Since the oath takes effect with regard to permitted items, it extends also to forbidden items. And Reish Lakish says, you find that one is liable for eating forbidden food as a result of an oath only if it is both an oath where he specifies that it includes a half measure, in this case less than an olive bulk, in accordance with the opinion of the rabbis that one is not liable for eating a half measure unless it is specified in the oath. Since eating a half measure is not prohibited by the Torah, the oath takes effect. Alternatively, you find that one is liable if he took the oath without specifying that the oath prohibits less than the usual measure, in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Akiva, who says that a person renders himself prohibited from eating any amount by taking an oath not to eat. So, and if it enters your mind that Rabbi Akiva holds in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon in general, this is difficult, as one who consumes any amount is also already under oath from Mount Sinai. Why should the oath take effect according to Reish Lakish? Rather, one must one must conclude from it in general Rabbi Akiva holds like the rabbis, and it is only with regard to unspecified oaths that he deems one liable for eating any amount. The Gemara conclude that Rabbi Akiva holds like the rabbis. The Mishnah teaches the rabbi said to Rabbi Akiva, where do we find the one who eats any amount is liable, leading you to say that this person is liable? The Gemara asks, do we not? But isn't one who eats an ant liable despite the fact that it is smaller than an olive bulk? The Gemara answers, a whole entity is difficult since it has significance. The Gemara asks, but isn't one who eats less than an olive bulk of consecrated food liable? The Gemara answers, in order to be liable for eating consecrated food, we require a different measure, in any amount worth one pruta. One is not liable for eating an amount worth less than that. The Gemara asks, but isn't one who specifies in his oath that he is prohibited from eating any amount liable for doing so? The Gemara answers, one who specifies that eating any amount is prohibited is indeed comparable to one who eats a whole entity, since he has granted its significance. The Gemara asks, but isn't there an unresolved question with regard to one who took an oath not to eat and then ate dirt? If, as the rabbis claim, one is not liable for eating less than a full measure, you should consider, and then it goes in the next daf, so we'll just leave off for there. So thanks for watching.